ASU officials are updating us right now on the homicide investigation near their campus last night. We're going to go ahead and listen in.
Young man's parents last night, and my heart is heavy today.
All right, we are going to get that shot up in just a second. I will recap what we know at this point. Montgomery Police, okay, here we have the ASU officials. They are speaking. So what we know at this point is that 2 people are confirmed dead by Montgomery Police. We do have the names of those 2 people today. We know Justin Martin was a 24-year-old and Jaquez Hall. Also, those are the 2 people that we know that are confirmed dead in the shooting last night. I believe we have the audio of this press conference right now, so we're going to listen in to the ASU school president.
That safety is a priority for all of our students that participate in any events that are sanctioned by this institution.
All right, we're going to keep working on getting that live shot up so we can listen in to this press conference from Alabama State University. I do want to tell you that we have crews that are on the scene. Our reporter Jerome Jones, he will be there. We do want to recap what we know at this point, and unfortunately, we don't have a ton of information. But what I can tell you is that last night, around 7:15, police were called to the 800 block of North University Drive and reports of a subject shot. When they got there, they located a man who had been shot and killed on the scene. A second victim was then rushed to the hospital where he was later pronounced dead as well. And that is not all. Unfortunately, there are 3 additional adult male victims who were taken by their personal vehicles to a local hospital. We have learned that 2 of them have life-threatening gunshot wounds. 1 of them have non-life-threatening gunshot wounds. Now, like we said before, this was very close to Alabama State University's campus, which is why we are hoping to hear from Alabama State University officials today. But that's kind of where they come into this whole picture. But right now, we're still working to learn exactly how they are connected and how these victims of this homicide may be connected to the campus at Alabama State University. As you just saw in that video, it was an extremely emotional scene. A lot of people outside, a lot of people around at this time. You got to think, this was 7:15 in the evening. Maybe people were at dinner. Maybe they were hanging out with friends. We know that the campus is so close, and 7:15 on a college campus is obviously going to be a very active time. So for that campus community, as we wait to learn what the connection to the campus community is, we know that just the proximity to the campus makes this such a heartbreaking and such a terrifying scene for everyone who was in that area, whether they were on the campus, whether they were off the campus. We're also hoping to learn about the campus response. Usually when you have a shooting that close to campus, there's a big campus response with police getting involved on campus, whether that means a lockdown, an alert sent out to students. They have to notify these students who maybe aren't connected to this at all but are just close to where this is happening. They have to notify them and let them know exactly what is going on. So we will want to hear from ASU officials about that response. Will be a big thing that we're asking today. And again, like I said, also about how this is all connected to campus. From police, I will also add that at this point they have not made any arrests. They did identify the victims for us just a little bit ago, but they have not made any arrests or really gave us the situation of what led up to the shooting. When you have this many people who are injured in a shooting, there are so many questions about, was this a drive-by situation? Was this some type of disagreement between people? And I will tell you now that we do have that audio for the press conference. We're going to send it back in and listen in at this point.
That this was not an ASU approved nor sanctioned event. We have processes in place when student organizations are planning events.
This concludes our news conference.
All right, you were just listening to a press conference with officials at Alabama State University updating us on the shooting last night that was very close to their campus in the 800 block of North University Drive. What we did learn today is that we can now confirm that an ASU student is confirmed of one of the dead, which is a heartbreaking situation, as you just heard from the officials. Just want to recap a few of the messages that we heard. We heard from the SGA president, who obviously, he is trying to cope with this just as every student, every faculty member, and anyone who has any connections to this campus is trying to cope with this news. So many of them were so close to the campus and so close to the scene because it was just right off of campus. He told us that it was hard for him to sleep last night, and he called for the community to really step up and take some action and find a way to put an end to all this violence that unfortunately isn't just hitting in different parts of the city. Now it's affecting students at a local college. We also heard a message from Montgomery Mayor Todd Strange. And before I get into that message, we do want to go to our reporter Jerome Jones, who was there for that press conference, who I believe has some more information for us. Jerome?
Yes, Andrew, you heard it there. President Quentin Ross, we heard speaking there, confirming today that one of the victims in that tragic shooting was indeed a member of the Alabama State University family. And also we heard from ASU student
If Jerome is still there, I would like to ask him a quick question. Jerome, you've been on that campus today. I know you're familiar with this campus. Tell me the mood on campus, how students were acting, if there was any type of memorial anywhere. Did you see any of that today?
Andrew, as you make your way around campus here, there are balloons in the area that that incident took place, some sort of memorial. We do see some balloons tied to posts. As I understand, the accident happened on the side of that business close here to State. We know on that strip where it happened, there's a small convenience store, there is a barber shop, and there are apartment buildings on the upper floor of that building. And as we understand, the shooting took place next to that structure. But as you go around that area on campus, you can see balloons up as a memorial of some sorts. Andrew?
All right, thank you so much. That's our Jerome Jones at ASU right now. He will have the latest coming up in a live report on Alabama News Network at noon. Before we let you go back to your regularly scheduled programming, we do just want to remind you of the new information that we have unfortunately learned today, and that is that one of the victims of the homicide last night, the double homicide on North University Drive, is an Alabama State University student. We did get the names confirmed from Montgomery Police. It's a 24-year-old Justin Martin and also Jaquez Hall, a 21-year-old. We are still working to get a lot more information about this story, and we know that there will be more details of memorials and how the campus is responding to this tragic news. We will be bringing you that throughout the next coming days and, of course, later today on Alabama News Network. For now, we're going to send you back to your regular scheduled programming. Again, we will have more coming up on Alabama News Network at noon on CBS 8.
Keep watching Alabama News Network for the latest on this developing story.
There's a bunch of whole almonds in every bar of Hershey's milk chocolate with almonds.